Hey friends, here are a few things to keep in mind this week and a couple practices I'd love for you to try to lean into as you interact with your child. One of the questions that I'd like for you to consider this week is this. What is your first instinctive response when your child makes a mistake or when he or she is disobedient? And this is just a question for you to sit with and reflect on and sort of come before God with and pray. I invite you to really get honest about that. What seems to be your default setting when your kids make a mistake? Engaging and connecting with your children in the way of Jesus has as much to do with the answer to this question as it has to do with any set of beliefs or any doctrine. So for better or worse, our children are learning what it means to have grace and to practice forgiveness from us and from the culture of our household. And here's the thing. So my kids are a little older. Two of them are in high school. And the kinds of conversations that I'm having with them now include me asking them to forgive me for not being as gracious with them when they were younger as I wish I would have been. I've grown in my ability to be gracious. I've been able to share with them what it means to grow in the capacity to love and to forgive and to embrace the messiness of life, and to get better at responding to mistakes with grace over time. And I think one of the most important places of formation for young people is for them to be in healthy relationships with parents and adults where they see growth and the fruit of life with God at work over time. That's how it's meant to be. And so here's what I'd like for you to lean into a bit this week. Pay attention this week to where you see grace flowing out of you and maybe where you see that it's not. Ask your child what he or she feels when he or she makes a mistake. Maybe not right in the moment, but after some time has passed, ask her if she knows what grace means. And the answer to this particular question will reveal a ton about the way that your child is processing the mistakes or the disobedience that they make. Spend some time this week reflecting on God's grace and kindness in your own life. I wonder if you can get up close to wondering how reflecting on grace and kindness of God impacts your grace and kindness towards your own child. So there's this beautiful image in Hebrews chapter 4 where the writer of Hebrews talks about the throne of grace, and that the way that we are to approach that throne is with confidence to receive the help that we need when we need it. And so one of the things that you could talk about this week with your children is that particular verse. Ask your child if they received any grace from God today or any grace from somebody else. And so rather than drawing attention to the mistakes or the moments of disobedience, which I know it's important to sort of address, but don't forget to draw their attention to the grace that comes when they make a mistake. To create a culture that it's okay to make mistakes. Another image that I like to work with kids is from Romans chapter 5, verse 20, where Paul talks about this idea that where sin abounds, grace superabounds. And one of the tactical ways of getting this message across is to find a sock from the laundry and put it in the middle of the floor and allow that sock to represent sin or the way that we stray away from God's heart for us or for others. The way that Paul talks about grace is that grace is this sort of super covering of our sin, this super abundance. And so as I'm sharing this with a child, I'll dump a whole basket of clean laundry on top of that one dirty sock, and I'll let it get buried by the grace. Again, this is just a tactical way of representing how full and abundant is the grace and the love of God.